All right, welcome in. Welcome back to the BFR Podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM. As always, joined by my good friend, content creator, Ficky. And of course, we have our producer, Jack, on the sticks. He's also going to be here in the pregame show. Before we kind of move on to London and the Bears-Jaguars game, I kind of want to just go ahead and give final thoughts from our previous week. Any other things we want to kind of discuss before we kind of move forward with a very, very important game here in the next 48 hours. So, Ficky, I'm going to start with you, man. We've had 4 or 5 days to kind of think on it. Any final thoughts on week 5?
I mean, look, it's hard to get wins in the NFL, so I'm happy to see that Caleb. Well, first of all, this team is winning because it was a very different story last season, the first 4 games, as we all remember. Pretty sure we didn't win 1. So it's good to see that after 5, we're 3-2. The offense is starting to improve. Defense is still looking locked down. And also kind of ironic, you'd be like, oh, the offense should be going up, which it is. But the secondary and pressure and the D-line has been improving as well. Almost, if you look at from week 0 or week 1 to week 5. So it seems like everything's starting to click. Obviously, it's a week-by-week basis with this team. But, if the flip is switched on the offensive side, we might see a streak here soon. So I'm excited to see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with all that. Jack, how are you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, no, Ficky, you nailed it right on the head there. It also, I noticed that this week was probably the first week, I think, where there wasn't any shit going on Twitter after a game. Even when we won against the Rams, it was there was still shit and everyone's like, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This was the first week where it's just vibes. Everyone's just chilling. We're ready for Sunday, but I don't know. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to
People tried to ruin it with the Jaden Daniels offensive rookie of the year. I was like, come on, man. I don't care about those awards. Let's get to 4-2. That's all that matters. And then we'll because we have a huge matchup here after the bye after London. So yeah, that's against the Commanders. But I don't want to look too ahead. My kind of what I wanted to touch base on is Caleb had a great game. But the thing that really stood out to me was that there was still a lot of plays left out there, which is awesome because, he's going to grow. He's going to continue to get better. But the fact that he didn't even play not a perfect game, but up to what even his standard probably, there's just so much more room for him to kind of continue to ascend. And I think even, with Rome Odunze, I know his numbers are kind of lacking. He was catching some strays on Twitter as well about him being maybe an underperforming rookie. I think there was an article on SI or Bleacher Report that came out. It's all noise at the end of the day, but Rome he's
moving up the rank though for rookie wide receivers. I think he's in 5th or something. So it's not
that's what. But he is on when it comes to Caleb. He's probably on the bad end of they're just not connecting on some big plays. And there's so after watching the film and kind of really looking at it as a whole, Caleb played really good, but he still is yet to have that great game. And I'm hoping, the Jaguars we're going to get to their, the preview here in a little bit, but they have a terrible, pass defense. The coverage is not great. So I'm hoping maybe this could be it. You never really know in the NFL, but overall I'm feeling good, man. 3-2, but I'm not satisfied because that Colts game stings still. I wish we could go back and, reverse that and maybe get that win there. You feel, but to have a chance to go 4-2, I'm excited. So, but
oh yeah.
Anyways, let's get to the Jaguars. They're actually the Bears are 1 point favorites right now. It's considered a home game as well because I think both end zones are Bears painted Bears logos. So, which is really cool. And I think the Bears fans, obviously, that have already traveled. You see a lot of them over there. So I think they're going to have a really good turnout. And it's going to feel like a home game. And they've been down there for 4 days already. And Jacksonville, I think, just arrived late or early afternoon. So
can we talk about that just for a second? I know that Jacksonville obviously travels to London all the time because their owner has a stake with one of the stadiums or something like that, right? He has ownership over there. So they were one of the first teams to go to London and whatnot, right? But you understand, I don't know if you guys know, Jacksonville is in the state of Florida. And recently, I don't know if you guys heard, but people have known for a while now that there was a hurricane coming called Milton that was projected to be pretty bad, right? And Jacksonville is obviously the northeast part of it, so it's probably not getting the main part, but it's still a hurricane. They go all over the place and they do a lot of damage. So when reports came out that like, oh, their flight might be delayed, I'm like, who is making these I'm sorry, it just like I was so confused. Like you're an NFL run team that I don't know. Sorry. I was so dumbfounded that like you who are used to that type of weather, wouldn't you like plan ahead accordingly? I mean, it might work in our favor, which is fantastic. And hopefully everyone's safe, which is also great. But like, bro, what are we doing?
Definitely probably should have got out there earlier. They're actually, I think, playing next week as well. So I think them leaving late kind of plays a role in that. You don't want to be, the players to be away from their families probably, I guess that long. But sometimes I guess some players, their families aren't even in Florida. They're
right.
California, wherever they might be. So, no, I think it's weird, but you think the Bears have the edge there. But at the same time, I've seen teams, have play on like 3-4 days rest, and or like a short week, and they come out and just blow the other team away that came off a bye. So you just never know in this league. So, but let's get to the injury reports because we have a comments here on YouTube because that's where it really gets interesting, especially on the Bears side. So let's go ahead and start with them, Fick. So Friday injury report, it really is. It's not great. It's not ideal. Jaquan Brisker, he was already in concussion protocol, and most assume he was going to be out, and he is. Zach Pickens, again, groin injury. He's out for, I think, the second or third week. DB Terrell Smith, hip, he's out. Tyreek Stevenson, he was added on Thursday. He is limited. And then Friday, he did not practice, and now he's listed as doubtful, and he's likely not going to play. That's probably one of the biggest misses as well with, Jaquan Brisker already being absent. Now you have two key players in that secondary. It's going to be interesting, and the Bears' defense is going to be tested. Offensive line, Tevin Jenkins, there's, good probability right now that he's going to play. But right now, Bill Murray is ready to assume, that those minutes there. And he looked good last week, so we'll see. But hopefully Jenkins is able to get out there. Jacob Martin is returning. More than likely, he was a full participant all 3 days, and he's still listed as questionable. And then Mercedes Lewis getting his rest in. Old. You always see him on here, but he's going to play. And then Kyler Gordon, he again, this is where it could have got really tricky here because he had a heel injury. He was limited Wednesday and then full practice back-to-back days. So no injury designation, no game status. So it was getting a little shaky there. I'm gonna start with you, Vic. How are you feeling about this secondary kind of being banged up? Because I think some people are, there's two types of Bears fans right now where it's like, hey, not a big deal. We're gonna be fine. And then I see others who are like, okay, hey, no, this is actually a big deal. Two key players in that secondary against a Jacksonville Jaguars offense that kind of got going last week. So how are you feeling? How are you interpreting all this kind of injury chaos?
Yeah, I got kind of two ways to look at it. The first one is two of the best players so far graded out, and I would say also just past the eye test, right, due to history, are still starting. Jalen Johnson, your number one corner, and Kevin Byard, your number one safety, okay? But if you're looking at the other side, you say, hey, look, you do have two players out that have been Tyreek's been kind of up and down, but like decent, and Jaquan's had a good year, right? Well, what's nice is the people that are least filling in for them. This isn't like a rookie filling in. This isn't someone who's new to the team, right? These are people that have been part of the system. You have Elijah Hicks, who's going to be starting, who's been the backup safety for, I think, 3 years now. And then you have Jalen Jones, who had a couple of good games last year, and he, knows the system. And we know Flus at least is going to do his best to put them in a favorable position. So obviously it's not going to be as good as Jaquan Brisker and Tyreek Stevenson, but at least it's not like the worst where it's like you're kind of throwing in a no name or you're throwing in a rookie, which I'm sure they'll start to target Jalen Jones and things like that, but things could be worse. So I'm going to look at it from glasses half full type of thing to say, we have at least two of our best players back there. You still have Kyler Gordon, so you really have 3 out of your 5. And then the other 2 have been serviceable as backups. And then you have Jonathan Owens to mix in too as well with Nichols and things like that. So you still got enough, and you still have those great linebackers, and you still got Sweat. So it's like maybe they don't look as good as what they have before, but instead of looking like a top 5 defense, maybe it's a top 15. You're just hoping that this offense will, if it comes out hot, then you won't have to worry about that. So I'm kind of on the glass half full.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree with you. Jack, you're just going to cut me off right now. Unbelievable. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Trying something new.
You think we're going in a routine here? You think this is a pattern? No.
I'm trying something new. Anyway, I agree with you, Ficky. I think that if the defense was letting up 30 a game, it would definitely be a little bit different in terms of this is going to be a massacre. However, being one of the top 5 defenses, it can't get that to the point where it's just chaos and Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk are running free down the sideline every single play. It just won't happen that way. Obviously, I think what you said was perfect though. Is it's going from top 5 to maybe top 15. It's going to be different. It's not going to be as good, but I still think it'll be serviceable. I'm not worried.
Dave, what about you?
Interesting. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of bring up Stevenson and Brisker. So so Stevenson actually he's been targeted 35 times this season. He's allowed 18 receptions for 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and has 1 interception and 4 pass breakups. His passer rating when targeted this year is 70.5, and he also has 3 penalties this season. So I think the good definitely weighs out the bad with him, and there's moments where he can shut down and basically end a drive by himself. We saw it last week against who do we play? The Rams, right?
No.
Was it the Rams? No. Panthers. Jesus.
Panthers. Yeah.
Panthers, yeah. They're all blending together, man. But no, seriously, he had a drive where I remember, he had 2 basically. He was targeted twice on that in that possession, and he held up strong. And that's what happens when you have, Jalen Johnson on the other side, where they just do not target him very often. But the interesting stat here is his replacement. What Matt Eberflus said today is likely going to be Jalen Jones. He's only played 10 snaps this season, 9 in coverage, and it's pretty damn good. It was on my article today, but he has 2 pass breakups on those 9 targets. He has not given up a reception, and he has a 39.6 passer rating when targeted. So I know it's limited. We've seen him before. I think we've seen him in preseason, even last year as well. He got some reps. So I think overall, Jalen's going to be able to step in. He's familiar with this offense, similar to, I think, is it Elijah Hicks?
Yep.
Right? That is going to likely get the start in Brisker. So both of these guys, I think, are more than serviceable. I think they can make plays. So I hate it because I would want to be full strength. That this secondary is just so much fun to watch. And I think they actually have graded out as what? I think you had it, Ficky. Wasn't there a tweet earlier this week?
Yeah. If you go off of
number
EPA,
1.
Yeah. If you go off of EPA, they're 1 right now. They've always been top 5 all year, from week 1 on. But
in that category, which is
1 right now. Wow.
A lot of people like EPA as well. So it's basically expected points added, right?
Yeah. Right. So they have a negative EPA, which means that literally people can't move the ball. If people are expected to score, they don't with this secondary, which we've seen. They're really good.
Reminds you of 2018 a little bit when it comes to those numbers. It's awesome, awesome stuff.
I think they're third because I think they're also third in takeaways too. So overall, this defense is low.
For me, with these injuries, I want to see other guys step up in this because Jalen Jones and then Elijah Hicks, expect them to have a mistake or two. Just can't be catastrophic. Can't be a busted coverage or something along those lines. Tackle, or no penalties. But for me, if they can play average or maybe a little bit better, and then you have other guys like Jalen Johnson, maybe he has to shadow, right? Or actually, not just stay on one side of the field. And then you have our linebackers, maybe get some more pressure. You have Kevin Byard, who made a huge play last week. So continue there's plenty of guys where they can step up and kind of fill this gap or maybe the talent level that is going to be missing with both of these. I mean, Brisker, I said it last week, is playing like a animal, dude. He is awesome out there. Probably one of my favorite players so far this year. And then Stevenson, he's up and down, but I think he's also has I said it, I think in the preseason, he has the ability to be a number 1 corner. He has all the traits. He's, athletic enough.
You definitely can.
Exactly. So, but it was a little surprising. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Hate to be banged up, but I think the Bears are still fairly healthy.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It could be a lot worse. So I'm like, you know what? I will take this for now. And the injuries aren't catastrophic injuries as well. So it's like, okay, Stevenson could probably come back by next week. That's possible. And then obviously Jaquan will be just a concussion protocol that's typically 1 to 2 weeks. So it's not like we're dealing with season-ending injuries or something that's knocking someone out for 4 to 5 weeks or where they get put on IR. So I'm just being a little grateful for how it is.
That's that's good. Kind of, because I mean, it's such a big game, but it's the bigger picture right there. You're right. I think it's just selfish that you wish you're at full strength. But this is the NFL. This is football, man. That is just not the case. But I think it is kind of good to have that perspective where it's like there's so many other teams where players are out either on IR out for the season. I mean, Nico Collins.
Yeah, he's
Houston
out
Texans.
Too.
That's a pretty big miss now with CJ Stroud. So you could always be worse. And honestly, I don't know. I'm glad like the linebackers are there. I'm glad our D line is actually getting healthier.
Yeah.
With Jacob Martin back. So, I mean, overall, just good vibes. So now let's move over to Jacksonville, which I haven't even looked at their injury report. So I'm seeing this first time. So interesting. Safety Daniel Thomas, hamstring. He's questionable. Wide receiver Gabriel. Is this Gabe?
Yeah,
Davis?
that's Gabe from Bills.
Playoff Gabe?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Knee questionable. Evan Ingram, their tight end, hamstring questionable. Linebacker Yasir Abdullah, neck, and he is questionable. And then cornerback Tyson Campbell, hamstring. He is out. Interesting.
I would assume all 4 of those play though. So I feel like they have Yeah, if it's questionable, I just assume you're going to play. So there's
some big names
injury list. True, but their injury list is very they're also very healthy. Yeah, doesn't mean they're very good. Now the thing is, but they're very.
If they're banged up a little bit, right? So if Gabe Davis is at 80%, 85%, that's still good, especially for a secondary that is kind of missing some of their key pieces, right? So interesting stuff on both sides, both fairly healthy teams. I think one of the biggest play we talked about it earlier was the travel, and Jacksonville's kind of used to this, like getting there and playing. But I think the Bears have done a really great job. So you hate for them to kind of come out slow or even lose this game because of how well they feel. Like they are prepared up there. They basically brought Hallis to London.
Yeah.
And you just love how organized this team is from top to bottom. From the people who are just like the staff to the players who are just. I think some of them brought their families even. So it is really cool. So.
Yeah, that helps when you hire a competent president and a competent GM. So,
hey, that's another thing. Shovel is going to be in the ground by 2025. We don't know where.
Look, we don't
Chicago.
have to go off tangent, but I just don't. If it's in Chicago, I'm not going to be mad. But I just don't feel like you buy all that land and it doesn't go in there. Like, I feel like that was the initial idea, and then they were with taxes. They were politicking back and forth.
But it's nothing right now. It's just a dirt field right now. That's all it is.
Crazy. Either way, we'll get a nice stadium. I'm sure about that. 2025 for me, helps, but
this is off topic. I know we're getting Jags, Bears, but I think for what Kevin Warren wants to do is only possible at Arlington Heights. I don't think because he 100%. Wants the best of the best. He wants,
Dog, where are you going to put
in
parking?
Chicago? You're not going to do it, man. You're not. It's not possible. So
the rendering didn't even have parking. Where were you?
And for me to be like shovel in the ground, there's no way. Like, politics aside, even I just don't think it's possible to have that shovel in Chicago. No. So
totally agree.
Which is I'm excited though. I like Arlington Heights. I know some people hate it. Keep them in Chicago. For me, it's like no. This would be top tier stadium. The ability to just, or like for the fans in regards to just like tailgating, stuff to do around the stadium. Yeah. I think it's just going to be so much better. So
if you want to see a good example, it's a different sport, but they did an amazing job here. The Atlanta Braves moved out of like South Atlanta and they went out to like the closest suburb. It's like 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive. It's nothing crazy. And they built something called the Battery. It's the stadium. It's tons of bars, tons of like stores. You know what I mean? People literally go there for the weekend. Even like people will go out there, even if there's not a game on. And when there is a game on, everyone's out there as well, like in the stadium and whatnot. Like the fan experience, like I always compare that to like when I go to Soldier Field and I'm like, oh my God, this is like I'm living in a whole different decade. Like I just time with that UFO that hit the top of the Coliseum. I feel like that is a time travel back to like 1985, the last time the team was good. So I'm definitely a proponent just from the fan experience wise. And also they'll own it. That's so key. You already bought the land. You'll own the stadium. You can have way more control. So I know we don't have to go down that whole route, but I feel like it's the only way.
Almost got caught muting myself. But Sunday Night Football, the skyline of Chicago, man, it is hard to beat. But it's like, for me, come on. Let's do it. I think Arlington does make the most sense.
Yeah, that's modern era now. Is like you create like a campus almost. Like Wrigley Field's a good example of that, where they created like almost like a campus of Gallagher Way and things like that. The Texans have Energy Park, which is the stadium, whatever, like a billion things. So I'm all for Arlington Park. I'm gonna
I'll
like
put the shovel
on the ground. I will do it myself. Evan Warren calls on me. I will put the shovel in the ground in Arlington. Get the ball rolling.
Well, dude, I mean, just walking out of Soldier Field is never fun. Like even the Bears,
first they lose.
They lose most of the time. You're walking down them steps, right? My favorite parts is like the Green Bay chants. Like I love those. Especially if the Bears win. Those are great, but I think that can happen, of course, in Arlington.
And they'll have more than 2 bathrooms, and the bathrooms won't look like they're from 1946, like after World War II. Bro, I'm like, what are these bathrooms? But yep, that's what happens when you don't own your own stadium. So, but
I remember those bathrooms, they saved my life a little bit because it was 2018, the Rams game, how cold it was in the December game.
They're warm in there.
And I would go, halftime, I ran in there as quick as I could, ran into the bathrooms, got heated up a little bit, actually missed the safety that happened in that second half, the start of the second half. Do you all remember that?
I know what you're talking about.
Jared Goff. Yeah. Anyways, getting off tangent here, and I keep seeing this. It's throwing me off. Bears Jags 8:30 a.m. kickoff.
Wake up, yeah.
For the
this is the only time that I'm happy I'm not Central, because normally
it's 9:30 your time.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a little bit of rest.
Dude, I'm gonna make my coffee and the game's gonna start. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
Can we dive into this? Do you prefer this way where you watch your team play at 8:30 and then the whole football slate starts right after that, or do you prefer something like Sunday Night Football where you're anticipating the game the whole time?
I actually like a morning game because you can wake up and watch it. It kind of sucks when it's your team because then you have to watch it compared to something's on, I can do stuff, waking up, have it in the background type stuff. But yeah, I'd rather all football be shifted a little bit earlier. So then Sunday night, you can kind of chill and get ready for the work week. You know what I mean? But
yeah, honestly, I actually, it's a really good question, Jack, because since we covered the team, I'll be honest, it kind of sucks to have a 12 o'clock game because we watch this game, right? And we're not watching any of the other 12 o'clocks because we're so focused on Chicago. And then we have our podcast, instant reactions right after. So we miss probably the first half of that 3 o'clock window. So I mean, and I love it, wouldn't change it, but I mean, that kind of sucks. So the fact that we are getting up at 8:30, honestly, it's like a primetime game, right? It's just morning. It's like breakfast and football. And so I kind of like it. I think it's going to be because I like to be able to watch all the other games.
Yeah.
And so hopefully the Bears win. Now, if they lose, that's where it's like, oh man, it kind of puts a damper on the day and you're kind of pissed off, but if they win, man, it feels good to watch the rest of the slated, the games that are going to take place in the other time slots. So I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. I love coffee too. So coffee and football, Bears football.
Are you a black coffee guy?
No, man. No, not that.
My guy.
Not yet.
I think all the people that drink black coffee.
I used to in high school for a little bit, but I was like, this shit's nasty. And
I think it's all nasty. I think that's just my hot take. Though.
Oh, you're not a coffee
wait a second.
guy?
There's a question. Nah. I hate coffee. There's a question here from Rod DC. What time does the game officially start? It's at 8:30. So 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Pacific Time, and then 11. Or then if you're in not Pacific, sorry, Eastern Time. Pacific Time, I think it's at 5:30 or 6:30. So good luck if you're on the Pacific.
Geez.
Yeah. So good luck over there. Speaking of the game, we want to take a look at this matchup. I think it's a little favorable. Question:
Yes.
How many footballs do we have on the offensive side? Let's see here. 2 it is. Look at that. So,
no blocking still.
Yeah. So this is what happened. No blocking. We had 1. I think rushing we had 1. We lost 1 in blocking and we gained 1 in passing. So offense still trying to find their way, right? The first 3 weeks were so bad that like it really weighted this down, and hopefully we'll start to see a shift here soon. But looking at our defense, pass rush, I think lost to football, but still looking pretty good. Run defense is lost to football because they gave up a good amount to Kyron Williams, so that kind of knocked them back. And I think they're averaging like 90 yards, which is a little high. And the pass defense actually is number 1 right now. Number 1 or number 2, depending on what metrics you look at. So they got all 5 footballs. In comparison to the Jags, their passing has been awful. Trevor Lawrence has not been great this year. Rushing, they have been really good, specifically with their boy Tank Bigsby, who came out of nowhere, and he's been going off. So that'll be an interesting matchup there. Their blocking has been decent on the offensive side. So, again, contribute specifically with their run blocking. And on their defense, which, Dave, you mentioned a little bit earlier, like, it's basically non-existent. Run defense is okay, right? Kind of like ours. But they have no pass rush, and their pass defense, I think, is like 29th in the NFL. Anywhere from 27, I saw, to like 31, depending on what metrics you're using to measure. So another game where Caleb Williams is going against a favorable defense here, at least on the passing side. So, and the total for footballs, again, last week, I think we had like 11, and they had 10. The Panthers did. This week we have 12 and the opponent has 11. So does that mean we won by 26? Probably.
So it's interesting because Trevor Lawrence, his numbers are not bad. Like, he's 1,100 passing yards, which is 14th in the league, 6 touchdowns, which is 14th in the league, 2 interceptions only, which is tied for 36, and he has a 53.3 QBR, which is 19th in the NFL. So, I mean, overall, I don't understand how it's been so bad. I don't watch a ton of Jags games. I've thrown them on, over the past 5 weeks, and they do look stagnant. And maybe it's just like they just can't, I don't know, maybe get points. I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting to see because last week it looked like the light bulb turned on for them. So,
yeah, but they almost lost it too. They won on a last-second field goal against
and they're 1-3 football team.
It was their first win on a last-second field goal against the Joe Flacco Colts.
Yeah,
don't diss my guy.
I think Joe Flacco's better than Anthony Richardson right now.
For sure. I think it's a testament, though, to how bad that defense is. I think Joe Flacco went for 300 in that one. So,
yeah, I mean, the Jags are. I think this could be a game where the Bears offense can kind of no one watches a ton. It's true.
That's funny.
Which I'm kind of hoping they move over to London. Like, if London gets a team, that'll be kind of cool to have like a franchise over there.
Dude, give me all those. I love that. I agree with you. Like they were talking Munich in Germany, and then I don't know about the Brazil-Mexico stuff after what transpired.
the field that was
whatever the color rumors and whatever it was.
I feel like if they do that though, like the travel's gonna be. It's gonna be
it's gonna be hard. They won't do it unless you have. You need to have.
They're gonna have to have buys.
Yeah, you have to throw in a buy. First of all, the NFLPA is not going to allow that to happen without a restructuring of their CBA agreement. I promise you that. That's like they would fight for that so bad, which I would too. If I was on the NFLPA, like for a player, what are we doing here?
Could you imagine you're on like the Texans or something? And
Rams going all.
You were traded to the London Jaguars.
What? You have to leave.
You're no longer the U.S., dude.
Yeah. It's not even like Canada or Mexico.
You gotta
close ones.
You gotta have a passport. And what if they don't have their passport? That takes about 2 months. Right. I'm sure they might be able to expedite it, but the trade won't be finalized until so-and-so gets his passport.
Yeah, fuck a physical. They have to do the passport.
Sending passport.
Yeah. That's funny.
So, no, I like this. I don't know why I was saying that. I do not like this matchup. I think this game is a little scary, kind of like a trap game. Not even a trap game, because I think the Jaguars are better than what they've put out as far as film and the results they're getting. So a little nerve-wracking. But before we do kind of move into kind of our bold predictions and the rest of the game flow, let's go ahead and first hit a like button. We're on the road to 10,000 subs. We're getting there. You guys have been crazy supporting it. We appreciate it. Hit that like button right now if you're watching in the live chat. And then Ficky, if you want to go ahead and do a quick little ad read here.
Absolutely.
We'll be good.
All right, if this is your first time, thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. Go ahead, give a like and a thumbs up and subscribe as well. It's free. It helps the algorithm, helps our show get out to people like you, and we really do appreciate that. Also, if this is your first time, please give a hashtag new face gang in the chat, and we'll give you a shout out at the end of the show. We do this for all our shows, so please do that. If this is not your first time and you've been here multiple times, which I know a lot of you have, please give a hashtag OG. We love giving y'all shout outs. It's awesome. We see more and more OGs each week and people converting from new people to watch to second time watchers. We love that. We appreciate all the support in many ways. And again, this is all free. So thank you so much for doing it. It helps us, keep being motivated to make fire stuff like we have, like these new overlays we have and some of these other graphics. Like, we're trying to really improve this show and bring more value to y'all. Also, if you want to support us fiscally, which we do accept, we do have a store, the BFRstore.com, where we have hats, hoodies, caps, sweatshirts, all a bunch of great stuff that you can see right here. If you want to support us, you can go there. The link will be in the description. A bunch of stuff on there. Shipping's pretty quick. All the benefits from that go into helping improve the show. So we don't pocket it. We take it and just keep building this business that we have here. So we really do appreciate that. Also, if you want to join our Patreon, we do have a Patreon called the BFR Den on there, where we have exclusives like monthly giveaways, private Zoom calls, mailbag episodes, and we're working on a bunch of other stuff. And actually, I am posting the calendar probably tomorrow for this month. So we'll have our monthly giveaways all planned out and things like that. So if you want to join, you can join. The link is in the description as well. That is the BFR Den on Patreon. Again, we want to thank you guys for all the support, whether you're buying things or joining the Patreon, or if you're just watching the show. Like, we really do appreciate every single one of you, from the first time watchers to 100-time watchers. Like, we do this for y'all. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Nope, absolutely. And if you, again, if you take anything up from that, just hit that like button for us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify listeners. We appreciate you as well. And again, rate, review the pod if you're listening that way. And then, of course, follow the pod on all socials at BFR_pod. And then, of course, our socials are here on the screen. So go ahead and link it there. And then you can find all our stuff, again, at the BFR Twitter as well. So we're everywhere. We appreciate the support. TikTok, I think we're growing there too. I've seen that. So it's been real fun. So hopefully we get a win here, go to 4-2, and the vibes just keep on going up. So which would be very weird to have a 4-2 football team. I think it's the first time since 2020 where the Bears have started 4-2, and that's when I think we made the playoffs. It was like the extra COVID spot, I think.
That was the Saints one, right? Where Jimmy Graham walked off the field at the end.
Yeah. And then I think
he caught that last second touchdown that didn't mean anything and literally just walked into the tunnels.
And who dropped that pass for Mitch?
From
Wims.
Wims, yeah, from Georgia.
God. Anyways, let's move on to bigger, better things here. What do we got next, boys?
I think we have the Caleb tracker. So this is new. We want to see how, the projections for Caleb based off his game so far and how many yards he's going to get, if he's realistically going to hit 4,000 yards and how much he needs to get that. So Jack, you bring that up for me. The Caleb 4K tracker. Here we go. So journey to 4,000 yards. So what he needed, since it's 17 games, thank you, NFL, he needed 235 yards per game. Year to date right now, he has 218. So if he continues at this rate, he will not hit 4,000 yards. But we've seen in the past 3 games that has been a major uptick. So realistically, he needs to hit about 242 to average out for the end of the year. So you can see over here on the right side, it doesn't. The funny thing is, game 1 is so small that it couldn't even show what the yards were. But game 1, I think he had 93 against Tennessee, which is not great. You can see Houston 174.
And we won that game.
Facts. Which is crazy. Thank you, Will Levis. Game 3, that's his first 300-yard breakout game, his best one. Then he dropped down to about 150, and then he hit 300 again, game 5. So, it would be nice to see him break 300 again this week. I think that would help that, him not have to get as much of an average moving forward. But right now, he needs to get about 3,000 yards to hit 4K, and we're about 4th way of the season, so it kind of makes sense, right? Factor in a bye, of course, but
the remaining yards is 2,909. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. That seems very doable, dude.
It does. He should be able to do it as long as he doesn't have more games of 100 or less, which I don't think will happen, or more games of like under 200. Because right now, out of 5 games, you have 3 that are under 200. And that's the problem. He has 2 big ones, 304, which is good, and then 363, which is really good. But he has 3 games under 200. So as long as he can get a little closer to actually like averaging out to like 250, we'll be set. So it'll be interesting. And we'll keep track of this after every post game, and we'll do it in our pre games as well. Yeah. But kind of seeing where he's at.
Those divisional games are going to be hell.
I was just thinking that, Dave. It was literally my mind.
Crazy defenses. Minnesota comes to mind. Even Detroit.
The 3 top takeaway defenses right now in the NFL. 3 of them are in the NFC, and that's including us. It's Packers, it's Vikings, and it's Bears.
Dude, and the Packers are just so weird, man. They are explosive, but they'll turn the ball over just as quick, but then they'll score in 3 plays. I mean, such a weird team. But they are very, very good. Can't believe I'm saying that, but they're always good, honestly. So
I
love that 4K. Yeah, I love the 4K tracker. We'll have to get that. Let's post that every game. This is just, this is like the Cliff Notes here. You guys are seeing behind the scenes here. I think that people would love that, especially if he continues to drop those 300-yard
for sure
performances. I mean, you got to feel really good. If he keeps doing 300, even like 275, stay ahead of that average per game.
He's still on pace though to break records. So 4K is not the only record. That's just kind of
that's the only one I care about though.
For sure.
Because I mean, it'll feel good if he breaks, Mitch. I mean, God, if you don't break Mitch Trubisky's, Bears passing record.
Don't. We don't need any of that bad. No, we don't need that. All right. Let's get to our bold takes then. Dave's probably gonna be a little upset about this one. Sorry, Jack. I didn't mean to do that. Bold takes. So right now, I did get a win on the last one. I did. Luckily.
What was yours last week?
30 plus points, and they did do that.
It's
still early. It's still early, but I did take a slight lead.
And do we know what I said?
Yours was 4 touchdowns by Caleb, and he had 2. He could have had 3. He had 1 taken away, but even still, he did.
Why did I do 4 touchdowns? I'm nuts.
It's a bold take. That's why we're 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. This is
all right.
Speaking of bad bold takes, let's get into it. Let's go ahead. Let's see what I got for my first one here, Jack. All right, Bears hold the Jaguars to under 2 sacks. That may not seem like a bold take, but this offensive line has been, I think they've only had 1 game, the last one against the Panthers, that they held a team to under 2 sacks. Why I think that's actually possible is this defensive line is not good. Now, I will say in the past 2 weeks, and this is kind of the key to the game as well, Trevon Walker, former number 1 overall pick, last game he had 3 sacks. That was like his best game of his whole career. He's kind of been known as a wash to this point. And then the week before that, he also had like 7 pressures. So I think it's 2 games in a row. He's had 7 pressures in a row. So maybe this is him flipping a switch. So like my key for the game is Darnell Wright versus Trevon Walker. Because Trevon normally plays like 85% of his snaps on the left side, left end, which is technically the right side on the offense where Darnell is. So it'll be interesting to see if they can shut him down, right? And these are more like the last game was more of an outlier, not of what's to come. I think this team will win because we've seen with Caleb having clean pocket, having no pressure in his face. He's been pretty good. Yep. And so I'm hoping to see the same. So that is my bold take. And yes, it is bold because, again, we've only held defensive lines to under 1 sack once, and it was last week. So.
I don't know if that's bold enough for me.
I can't do 0. You think 0 sacks? That's the only thing. It's like either they have 1 or 0. The 0 is crazy.
I know. I think it's bold. I think it's bold, but I'm trying to win here.
I know he's trying to win now. Super competitive. That's all good.
I don't even remember. I know we put my bold takes in this morning. I can't remember what I said. I'm getting old as shit.
All right, let's see. Let's see what Dave has here.
So fucking serious. God, 400 plus yards.
These are your takes, by the way.
Oh my God, this should count as 2. If I win
for sure, I'll do that.
I mean, the Jaguars.
400. I think so. I mean,
if you can get 400, I will give you 2, or I'll remove a loss. I'll remove a loss. And
give me an extra one. I like that.
That's crazy. I mean, when you said that in this morning, I was like, that's.
I thought it was a typo.
I was drinking my coffee. I was feeling good. It was Friday. I was like, I was looking at the Jags doing the preview, and I'm like, bad defense, bad coverage.
I mean, this is the team to do it to.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
put on a show. You're overseas.
I would rather have yours happen than mine. But obviously, if yours happens, mine probably happened too. Like, but if he goes off 400, I don't care.
It'd be
losing
great
at that
though
point.
if we get 400 and he still gets sacked twice.
For sure.
Just winning.
For sure. For sure. I will not be mad about that. 400 yards is crazy. So to witness that as a Bears fan,
I think he's going to get one of those this year. I think he's going to get 400.
This would be the team to do it to.
Yeah.
Because there's not many other bad defenses, except Washington's pretty bad too. Sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
Mine is everybody scores a touchdown. Rome, Keenan, and DJ all score touchdowns. We've been talking the entire show about how trash the Jack secondary is. This is the week we come alive. And we finally see Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was the one I sat there and I was like, do I even want to say his name? Because I think he has like 60 yards on the year or something disgusting.
He missed 2 games.
It hasn't been great.
That's
but
yeah,
it's okay.
That's not good. But yeah, I think it's just going to be air raid offense. Everyone scores touchdowns, and I'm going to be happy. So
not everyone, just those 3, right?
Yeah. No one else.
I'm just confused because bold takes here. I need. Are we locking in everyone? We're talking Doug Kramer, or
just those 3.
The guy who said that Caleb Williams was throwing 400 yards.
I mean, to be fair,
this guy's talking to me. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm hearing here. I said 3 guys are scoring a receiving touchdown. You got Caleb Williams setting like a rookie.
400?
I love it.
He had 370 something. Did he have 363?
363.
How many times did he throw? That's never happening again.
That's true. He threw the ball 52 times. But to be fair, he's more efficient with his ball nowadays. So
last week he had a 300-yard game and he threw only 29 times.
Exactly.
He doesn't need 50. Give him 35. And I think
if
he gets
if
some
he
big
gets
plays.
40, if he gets
some
40,
big chunk plays. He's gonna have like 200. Anyways, I just feel it. I'm feeling bad about this one. No.
Oh my God. No. Realistically, we're all probably gonna get him wrong, like we do most weeks. So
first, can I bring that up real quick? Yes.
The
record screen? It seems like you're afraid of me because mine won last week.
What? No, because I didn't track your first ones. That's why I don't have you on there.
They're on YouTube, baby. Go and check them out. You can see them.
You give me them in the notes. Give me a record. I'll throw you on next week.
5-0.
We'll get
5-0.
5-0.
5-0. What have I lost?
I need to mute him.
I think I'm 2-2.
I think you just got to start out 0-5. Just
that's
just
fair.
because.
I said called under 175, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a really good take." Damn right it is. 130. That's what I was looking up.
That's true. That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Good. So you're 1-4.
2-2 because I didn't go on one show.
You didn't do it. We'll take that. I'll throw you on the graph for the next one, for sure.
We got to get Jack on there. I like last week. You guys liked it, and I asked you guys to drop your bold takes for this weekend, and you guys delivered once again. We're also going to go ahead and kind of make this a little segment as well. So we're going to take our top 10 favorite ones. So Jack, Ficky, and I are going to go on here, and we're going to pick our probably 2 to 3 each favorite ones, throw it on here, just so you guys can kind of be more involved, and then we'll kind of have like a little contest, see who has the best, funniest, best takes, whatever it is.
We should do, and I know we keep going behind the curtain a little bit here, but the best one of the year, should be a prize. I think a
big one, maybe like Super Bowl tickets.
That sounds right.
Bears Super Bowl tickets.
Sure,
do you want me to share the screen? You guys want me to just read these off?
You can share it if you want. It's up to you, Dave.
Yeah, let's do it. This is new graphics here. So if you want to do it, okay, cool. I'm gonna bring it in here. I'm gonna share my screen. Bring it in. Boom. Let's see here. Hold on.
I like that first one.
You like that first one? I'm gonna change this. I guess we're going to settings here.
Oh, change your accessibility.
I was gonna go to a little blue. Bears blue here. Fine. I like that. Okay. Boop 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 boop. Here we go.
Oh, we know those people.
Somebody streams. Yeah.
There it is.
Don't watch them. Okay. So. Okay. Bold takes here. For this weekend, we have Andrew Billings interception from DWC. I like that one. I also I said over under 5.5 return yards. What are y'all thinking there?
If he gets an interception, he's getting like under, I think.
Oh, dude, go over. Give me a pick 6.
You think so?
All right,
so
crazy.
Nick from Just Another Year Chicago Bears. He said Williams 300 plus with Rome, with 100 plus to Rome. So that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would be sick. Okay, so then we have. Can you all see still? Can you all see it? Is it pretty good? I just want to make sure it's not too small. So then we have Keenan Allen goes for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. We got the Keenan Allen game. I kind of like that.
I would love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. So, and then we got Big Dog catches a pass. I think he's talking Mercedes Lewis.
Yes.
And then we have shootout game. Caleb 3 touchdowns. So he gets his hat trick. Let's see here. I always feel bad when I have people muted. So let's keep it here. Oh, it's slow. Okay. Cody Seacrest, he goes, not sure if this is ball. Bears score 40 points for the first time this year. First time this decade. No, I'm just kidding. I think we scored 40 before, right?
Rams game, the one you're at, did we skip? No, it wasn't that high, right? Because we threw so many.
I can't remember.
I don't know the last time we scored 4. Oh, no, we definitely Mitch Trubisky 6 touchdown games against the Bucs.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that's the last time, but I at least know that would be one of them because
it was the Washington game was the last one. Last year.
Oh,
we dropped 40. Cool.
40-20 against Washington.
The DJ Moore breakout game. Yeah, we probably
we got from Pap on Twitter, Doug Kramer with a rushing touchdown from the fullback position. You love it. Keenan Allen, Rome, 130 yards each. That's crazy. Jalen Johnson, pick 6. I don't think that's too bold, but I like it. Bears win 21-17. Caleb's 2 touchdowns. Swift with another strong performance. Bears are going to lose. Okay.
2 interceptions.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see here. Rome Odunze, 5+ catches, 100 yards, 1 TD. We got Keenan Allen game again. The Tank Bigsby hype frustrates fantasy managers who went all in. Bears 47-17. We got a little score prediction. Yes, that was crazy. Caleb 4 touchdowns. Let's see here. A couple more. Offensive showdown with Stevenson and Brisker down. Both Caleb and Lawrence go for 350 plus, and Bears win 38-27. So again, we're going to kind of have this a little bit more organized here as we kind of progress to next week. And we'll have a top 10 ranking of the best bold takes each week. And we'll have some really cool graphic. And then, of course, we will have a prize for, I guess, probably the best one of the year. Is that what we want to do? We'll cook it up later.
Yeah, we'll do something cool.
People are going to be disappointed, I think. After reading those, I mean, we are expecting like the greatest offensive showcase in history of football.
I love bold, but they're bold takes. That's why you love them.
That's the boldest take I've ever seen. If I said that right now, I would be obliterated. I'd be kicked off the podcast.
47. That one's
dude, you know what's so funny to me, Jack? You know what's so funny to me, dude? So I listen to other Bears podcasts, and Bears obviously, and it's like I've heard it like 3 times from 3 different shows. You know what the dumbest or the most stupidest storyline this offseason is? It's DJ Moore and his body language. And I'm just over here sitting like, I know who started that. Like, I know who created that shitstorm.
I can't tell if I regret it or not.
And he feels bad.
I do. Do I? God.
No, but you single-handedly started the body language. And you know what's funny? I don't even know, man.
I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's
you know what? It's him having a daughter. That's what I think. It's his daughter, and like you just see the way that a young child acts, and so you bring it to the field, and you do that, and you just act like a baby. I get it. It happens.
Jesus Christ, dude. You're just digging.
Shovel
in the ground. The shovel in the ground wasn't a reference to the stadium. The shovel was digging your own hole. That's
contract.
I just hope when we win the Super Bowl, you better analyze his body language.
Clip him, everybody, please. We love that.
The Bears just won the Super Bowl, and DJ Moore is on the sideline sitting by himself.
Well, dude, this
I can't stand it.
I'm so stuck into this. Like I said on the post game last week, was like the second he scores the touchdown, my shit blows up, and everyone's like, "What do you think now? What do you think now? What do you think now?" I'll never get out of this. Here's the thing: is now he starts turning up because, like I said, everything I tweeted was cursed, and so now he's turning into Randy Moss, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
perfect.
Like
I love it. I love it. Keep doing that. Do it for other people that aren't performing. I didn't like Keenan Allen's body language either. Go ahead.
Yeah,
let's get going.
Do that. But by the way, and then one more thing I'll bring up about this, and we'll never talk about it again. Everyone was like, when he scored the touchdown, it was this guy. This doesn't seem like a guy who's pissed to be here. Again, let's relate it to the baby thing. Babies cry and they cry and they cry, and then when you give them what they want, they stop crying. So, like, I mean, the point is, you're not dissing me. I don't sound stupid. You sound stupid. He scores and he cries, and then gets the ball. And then he's
analogy.
like happy and smiling or whatever. And
What
everyone's
analogy.
Steve.
I love it, though. I love it. I love that you're in this.
Let's move on.
I love DJ Moore. Caleb. Look at this.
Yeah.
My boy Alex said right here. Caleb said DJ sassy. That's all I'm saying. He's a sassy
DJ
guy.
Moore said Caleb said he's on bossy. So that was
We
funny.
didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
I don't think there's any like animosity going with those two. They're just
dude. They're both in the same room when that press conference was going on. DJ was looking DJ was looking at Caleb when he was talking and saying these things. So of course he's gonna kind of be, and they're, they have that big brother, little brother relationship too. You know how that is. So I love it, man. I don't know how you can be concerned about those two. I think I love it. I love it for both of them. The chemistry I think is building.
As long as we keep winning, I don't care what's going on.
4-2. Let's do it. So speaking of which, I think we have what do we have now?
We have our score predictions.
Oh my God.
Here's it go. Let's see what we got for the score predictions. I'm coming in with a W here, but not by as much as you would like. I still think we can score on this defense a frequent amount, which is 27. But, this isn't the Panthers. So they're probably going to move the ball a little bit. We do have a secondary dinged up a little bit. Trevor Lawrence still has some weapons. Brian Thomas looks like the best rookie wide receiver right now. And Malik looks really good too. But, I think that we come out like winning, and I think we have control for most of the game, but I think there might be some hiccups within there where things don't necessarily go our way, some 3-and-outs that give them the opportunity to move it. So, yeah, it's going to be a close one, but I think we win, which, again, that's all I care about.
Hell yeah.
Before we go to yours, Dave, we do have a super chat here. Tito, $5 with the erroneous Jack Erroneous, which is a callback to an episode a long time ago, which is hilarious. He said, just say you hate the Bears, bro. You're a toast sandwich. How's this for a bold take? Bears defense doesn't only score once, but 2 touchdowns spared down. Appreciate the love, Tito. So
I love that.
Yeah. Jack loves the Bears.
I love the Bears. I'm here.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's
go to.
Thank you, Tito.
Dave. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the super chat.
What? That's what I put?
Yeah, Dave. This is what you
No,
said.
I think I put 24.
We're going to have to pull up the receipt.
I'm pulling on my phone here. There's no way. Did I say that?
That's
I thought
crazy.
that, though. That's what hold on.
Let's see.
What was in your coffee this
So
morning?
that's what I'm saying. So I'm going through my text. Yeah, I put 24, 21.
Oh,
all right.
My bad.
It's okay. It's all good.
A dub, though.
This is perfect, though, because I felt like the Bears were actually going to score 34. But they were going to give up 31. But I was like, I changed it last second, went 24-21. I didn't send it, but I did send the 24-21 prediction. But anyways, I think it's a good transition because I think the Bears are actually going to score 30 plus. I think it's going to be like 34, 31. That's how I really wanted to kind of get that prediction out there. But I feel like that was a little too crazy. So I went 24-21, but I really truly believe the Bears defense is going to give up a little bit just because I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of getting going. They kind of have some explosive, playmakers. I think Lawrence is still capable of putting up some big numbers, making some big plays. So I would love for the Bears defense to continue to hold teams under 21. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I really don't. But either way, the Bears are going to win this game. They have to win this game, especially heading into the bye week.
I do want to pull this comment. So from Alex OG said, so Dave says Caleb throws 400, but only equates to 24 points. Well, let's also specify here that it's a bold take. This is more of a realistic prediction. So,
yes.
And also you can throw for 400. And if you're down, you can easily throw for 400 and not score a lot of points. So,
however,
I would not like that.
The prediction did say 34. So I guess I have to go with that. But that's how I felt. I just didn't have the guts to really put that out there. But I guess since it's on paper now, and this is what's here, I'm going 34, but my original score was 34-31.
31 is the one that scares me, though, because I'm like,
dude, I you know how the NFL is. I think sometimes defenses are amazing. Even the best defenses can give up 30 plus sometimes. It's weird. NFL sucks sometimes for the defense side.
Jack, before we go to yours, this is a hilarious comment. Mr. James says Jack thinks the score is going to be 6-3 Jags.
Oh, dude, I was going to leave it up because that'll bring us right here. I'm leaving it right here. Offense! I love DJ Moore. I love the Bears offense. Keenan Allen, like I said, Keenan, Rome, DJ, they all scored touchdowns. I was going to add DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, everybody. Everybody scores touchdowns. I think 31 points is a perfect number. It gives us 4 tutties. Cairo bangs the 25-yarder. We couldn't score in the red zone. It was unfortunate, but we took our 3, thank God. 31 points. I think that the Jags offense is rolling now. I think they looked really good against the Colts. We already talked about it. Defense sucked. The offense looked better. A big thing that we cannot overlook, that Bears fans are overlooking, is their team is a ton and a ton and a ton of young guys. The whole team is. Like when they were out without Evan Ingram, it was Brenton Strange, who's a second year, I believe. And then they have Brian Thomas, who's still, again, we're 5 games in here, and like he's got to get used to it. Tank Bigsby, obviously. List goes on. They're going to score more points. We talked about the secondary. They're banged up. Bears win. Everyone scores.
I'm not mad about that. I'm just glad we all have I think every time we've all picked no, that's not true. That is not true, because I think we all picked a win against the Colts and we lost.
I think we've picked every game for the Bears to win, every single one.
You know what? That's actually kind of crazy, but to be fair, we could have won.
Did I have them beating Texans?
Yeah. We had them losing against Texas.
I think they had them. I think they had them losing a close one.
Yeah. But we had every other game. We had them winning.
Though.
But to be fair, look, we talked about this. What's crazy about this season so far is that Houston, we lost by, we had a chance to win the game, march down the field, last drive, we lost that one. Colts, we had a chance to march down the field last drive and win that one, and we didn't. So it's not, they've been in every game, thankfully, to the defense. The offense just took a little bit longer to get going. So, us picking the Bears, it's not like this team has been like bad. Defense has been great. Offense has been up and down. So,
Mr. James, I hope that's not the case, man.
Oh my God.
He said bold take. I think it's Santos scores all our points. Is that what it was? Something like that?
Yeah, all our points. I would please no.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, let's finish it up here, boys. We have headlines, Monday headlines.
Yeah,
how this works, how this is. I think most people understand it.
But here we go. It is the hot streak. So basically, in essence, that means we win. And it's not only the fact that it's a 2-game winning streak, but it would then be kind of like in the past 4 games, Caleb has looked good, right? He looked good against the Rams. He didn't necessarily have the yards, but he was efficient. And so I'm hoping that after this game, not only are we on a winning streak, but Caleb is also on a passing the quarterback 1 test streak. And so that's what we want at the end of the year, right? Also, we want to win games for this season, but we've all agreed that one of the most important parts of this season was us walking away and being like, oh my God, we do not have to have quarterback talk starting next season, starting the offseason. Because for the past 4 years, every offseason, we've had to figure out if we're keeping our guy, if he's going to improve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
if that was the case after Caleb's rookie season, oh my God, that would be definitely fine.
You hit 4,000 yards, you give, and you're not like a Jameis Winston 30-30 type of year. I think that gives a lot of people hope that you probably have the right guy. And we've seen it so far. We've seen a lot of the pieces. So he just needs to keep putting pieces together, and I think we should be good. So
I read the subheading on that, and it said good news for travel industry or something. And I thought that was your headline. And I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, is it good for the
You're actually reading the whole newspaper.
I read that. That's why I looked.
I was too. There's some UFO landed.
You guys are funny as hell. Let's go to Dave's headline here.
God, I love this one. I really do. I was in my bag for this. We're overseas, London. We got soccer, football, hat trick for Caleb Williams, 3 touchdowns. I don't know. I don't know how I can top that one. That is.
It's a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
That one in your
Jack's this
for sure.
This is the most good. It's the most cliche. We're not even gonna throw his up here. I was disappointed. I didn't even say it in the group chat when I saw it coming this morning. But I was like, gosh, dang it, Jack.
Only if there was a writer that could help him out or change.
That's what I said. I literally sat there for an hour and was like asking ChatGPT, like, come up with something, please help. I had nothing. Nothing was helping. I just had to make some shit up. I had shit to do today. And
let's see what you got.
I like giving you a hard time. What is it though?
Let's see it.
All right. And it's going to be in the London time. So the Bears dominate across the pond.
Okay, that makes it 10 times better.
Great game.
I love that.
I think it's a good title.
A little long, but I love the
Bears dominate across the pond.
I love the accent though, so I'll give it 10 out of 10.
It's a good one for like 2005, right? 2005.
Well, these are newspapers, so technically, who's reading?
This is headlines for Monday, though. What are you
talking about?
The newspapers for fun.
Not us arguing about headlines. This is hilarious. People are probably like, "Yo, what is?"
I just threw a date out there. I don't know. Jack's over here like, why'd you say 2005?
What is going on in 05? I was 3. I feel something about 05.
It's like an old. I don't know. It feels like an old.
Last time Bears were good.
Where's the substance?
Last time the Bears were good consistently, so maybe that's it.
This was 2 words, Dave.
But it's like, but it was brilliant. It was bringing in the culture, the European soccer hat trick is a big thing. It's a big deal when it happens.
Okay, all right, well, just Chad, if you're still there, go ahead and vote on which headline you think is the best.
Who's the best out of us 3? That's what I want. We need to start throwing this out on Twitter.
Here for the next hour, and we'll just keep putting these up constantly.
We'll just keep going through.
Yeah, we'll just do this
for sure. So I mean, look,
I like giving Jack a hard time. It's fun.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, he did dig himself a hole with the DJ stuff, so that hasn't helped. But I think overall, though, we feel that this game may be a trap-ish, but I think we feel confident that the Jags defense is so bad and our offense is starting to catch a groove that even if our defense regresses, the offense will be able to carry the weight. That's my hope. And I feel like that's kind of how I feel collecting your guys' sentiment as well. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, trap game, scary as hell. I want 4-2 so freaking bad, though. Like, I don't ask for a lot in this world, but can you get me to 4-2? Let me enjoy the bye week, and let's get this freaking Commanders game. Like, it's gonna be hype as hell if the Bears are 4-2 heading this one. That game is gonna be. And maybe the Commanders can lose this one as well. Maybe they can lose this week in your 4-2 matchups. Anyways, I'm hyped as hell. We got an 8:30 game. It's prime time in the morning.
Yep.
It's a good time to be a Bears fan right now. So,
all right, let's get to the final question.
Yes.
Well, there's only one, I think, Jack, and then we'll go through our shout outs. So here on from Aaron Marty on Facebook said, any chance Reddy Stewart gets called up soon? He had a few big preseason plays. Yeah, probably not.
No. He's not going to get any reps.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Good
but
question,
I mean, he's on the practice squad. Yeah, appreciate the question. All right, let's go through our
greatest preseason team rosters ever. Hey, before we go again, be sure to check out the pod. Hit the like button. If you're still here in the chat, a lot of you are here. Hit that like button before you go on your way out. Check out all my work on SM. I'm going to have my own bold predictions and then game preview article on SM tomorrow. And again, this show would not be possible without Sports Mockery again. So check out all your Chicago sports news over there. Download the app, of course. We appreciate the support. And follow the boys here on the screen, Jack Scroggs _ on all socials. And then it's Ficky Baby on all socials as well. So
also, if you see below, is the game on local TV here in Chicago? I think it's NFL Network. So
no, I think it's still on
local too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But also
if you're in Chicago,
NFL Network.
Yeah, or if you're needing that, never mind.
Oh, the streams, you can hit me up. I got you. Yeah, I got some streams.
Streams,
y'all hear that?
I can't do it though. I can't be behind.
Oh, no,
I don't know. I just get too old now. I don't know.
I
have to be on
now. I agree.
I feel that. That's different. But I do love my streams for everything else, though. Okay.
Yes.
Before we go, we have 2 things. First off, if you see down here with our new overlays, we do have a voicemail line. You guys can leave voicemails anytime, right? During the week, obviously during the game, halftime, post game, like we're going to share those on the show. But anytime you have voicemails and you want to just get your opinion on the show, please leave a voicemail. We share all of them as long as you don't say stuff to cancel yourself. But like, please do. We love the voicemails. We love hearing you guys' opinions on things. It's fantastic. So let's finish off the show. Let's do our shout outs and then we'll head out. All right. We got #OG. This week, the Roman Empire takes over London. I love that. So let's see Rome go off. That's a headline. Fuck ours.
That would have been a headline, Jack. Yeah, are you seeing this, Jack?
Are you seeing this? London. What does that mean? It's not a headline.
No, but the Roman Empire takes over London.
That's pretty good. That's better than mine for sure. Mr. James, that's good.
Really good.
For sure.
Damn. That's better. Almost as good as mine.
James, DM me, please. For the love of God, DM me for next week. Help me.
Let's see the next one. Giovanna Garcia, #OG Bear Down. Appreciate that on YouTube. Alex Hamilton with the #OG. I feel like Bears fans are viewing this game like the Colts game as an easy win, but it's going to be closer.
Not us 3.
Not us, for sure.
Even though my prediction.
Oh, you gave a little bit more, but that's all right. We'll count whatever one's closer. And then let's go to Tito here with the #OG One Love. Appreciate the super chat as well. We really do appreciate that. And I love this Abby from Eduardo. I just love a SpongeBob meme. But #OG. I swear if I wake up at 6:30 just for the Bears to lose, God bless you. God bless you, bro. Because that is
that'll be such a Bears thing.
For sure. So, Mr. James takes a bow. We love that. Speaking of taking a bow, that is it. That's all we got. Anything else?
No, we'll see you guys. We'll be live 11:30, 12 o'clock ish, noonish, right after the game. We'll give you our, as always, we'll give our instant reactions. Make sure to be following us on all socials. We'll be tweeting out the voicemail lines so we can get those voicemails in. We kind of slacked last week, but we'd love to hear from you guys. And then, of course, if you want to follow us on all socials for the BFR pod, we've been growing over there. And again, hit that like button. Road to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube is progressing awesomely, and we appreciate it. And we will be back here in about 48 hours or less.
See you soon.
I don't know how long it is. Yep. Bear down.
Peace.